Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Sharan Nandakumar and you are watching this video in GENZEETECH channel. In this video, we are going to do another PC build. I had put out my first PC build video a couple of months back. A classmate who watched it liked it and decided to get a PC done for himself. He reached out to me to build one for him. He wanted a PC that could support high graphics and 3D rendering. I have decided to go with a dedicated graphics card in this build. This is a 65K build. Now let's look at what we have in our build. So for the motherboard, I have chosen the A320 S2H motherboard. So it has two DDR4 RAM slots, 4 SATA ports, one PCIe 3.0 slot and AM4 CPU socket. For the CPU, I have chosen the RYZEN 7 2700. So it has 8 cores, 16 thread processors. Its base clock is 3.2 GHz and max boost clock is up to 4.1 GHz. For this build, we are going with two 8GB sticks of Corsair Vengeance RAM with a clock speed of 3000 MHz. As I mentioned in my earlier video, two 8GB is preferred to a single 16GB RAM stick. So for the SSD, I am going with Western Digital 240GB M.2 NVMe SSD. Also, you need to ensure that your motherboard supports NVMe type of SSD before going for this. Even though NVMe costs slightly higher than a normal SSD, it offers significant performance gain over them. I would recommend to go with NVMe where possible. For the power supply, we are going with Antec 550 watt power supply unit for this build. The reason why we have chosen 550 watt for this build is because we need the extra power for the graphics card. In addition to the SSD, we are also adding a hard drive for additional storage. We have chosen the Seagate Barracuda 1TB drive for this. It has 64 MB of cache and has 7200 RPM. This build requires a graphic card. Our choice is the 8GB ASUS ROG Strix RX 570. It comes with a 256-bit powered GDDR5 memory. The Chiptronics MX RGB case comes with front Spectrum strip bar. It comes with one 120mm automatic RGB fan and also has USB 3.0 ports and USB 2.0 ports located at the top for convenience. Now let us set the motherboard. To set the motherboard, we need the RAM sticks, the CPU and the M.2 NVMe SSD. First step of the motherboard setup is to install the RAM. Gently push the notch down and there's a notch over here and a gap over here. Perfectly align it and then push until the lever locks itself. Before installing the CPUs, remove this bracket. In order to remove this bracket, you need to remove the screw. Let us install the CPU. Match the gold triangle with the triangle which is on the motherboard. Gently raise the lever and then lock the lever. Next step is to install the AMD stock cooler. Perfectly align the 4 screws with the motherboard's bracket. And then tighten the screws in a zigzag pattern. After installing the AMD stock cooler to the motherboard, connect the fan header to the CPU fan header on the motherboard. Next step is install the M.2 SSD in the motherboard. So for installing the NVMe, you need to remove the screw. Take the NVMe and properly align it with the socket on the motherboard at 45 degrees and gently push and then tighten the screw. Don't over tighten as it may damage the motherboard. Let's start by removing the side panels. Before installing the motherboard in the case, you have to install these standoff screws. Take the I/O shield from the motherboard's case and insert it into the slot and apply pressure until it snaps into its place correctly. Ensure that you get this right as it is the key to the rest of this build. We then have to fix the motherboard to the cabinet. Place it in such a way that the motherboard aligns with the standoff screws and the I/O ports align perfectly with the I/O shield. So the front panel connectors consist of USB 2.0 port, HD audio, USB 3.0 port, power switch, reset switch, HDD LED, power LED plus and minus. Connect the USB 3.2 port to the motherboard's USB 3.0 socket which says F_USB 3.0. So the next set of cables in the front panel connectors are power LED plus and minus, the power switch, the HDD LED and the reset switch. Connect the power LED plus top left corner and the minus goes next to it. And the power switch goes next to the power LED. The HDD LED goes into the slot below the power LED. Finally, the reset switch goes next to the HDD LED. Now we will connect the USB port to the motherboard. So this should be connected in F_USB 2 or F_USB 1. It doesn't matter in which socket you connect it. Now we will connect the HD audio port to the motherboard's header named F_audio. Now that we are done with the external connectors, the next step is to attach the power supply unit into the cabinet. Let's see how to go about it. When installing the power supply unit, make sure that the fan is facing downwards. Use these thumb screws to tighten the power supply unit. This is the 24-pin motherboard cable which gives power to the motherboard. Connect this cable to the motherboard's 24-pin socket. This 8-pin cable is used to power the CPU. Connect this cable to the motherboard's CPU socket. Connect the Molex cable to the exhaust fan. To power the LED strips, connect the SATA power cable. Before installing the graphic card, we have to first remove the corresponding PCI brackets in the back of the case. Keep pushing the brackets back and forth until it snaps off. Grab the GPU from the bottom and insert into the top PCI slot for maximum performance until it snaps into its place. When the GPU is locked into the motherboard, go ahead and lock it by tightening the screws from outside. This is the 8-pin PCIe cable which gives power to the GPU. Connect this cable to the GPU's power socket. Take the SATA data cable and connect it to the hard drive. Connect the other end of the SATA data cable to the motherboard SATA port. To power the hard drive, connect the SATA power cable. We have done with the hardware setup, and let's now close the cabinet. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button. Please share your comments in the comment section below and subscribe to my channel for more awesome videos. Stay safe friends, and see you soon in another video.